What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Rhodes, our man, Coach Bird.
What's up?
Hey, episode 18 of Unscripted Coaches, and today is the day. Coach Bird has been looking forward to this for a very long time.
I think March Madness is the best college event. I know you're a football man, but I just think March Madness is just 21 days to decide a national champion. Football, you might have a month off or so, or 2 weeks to prepare for a team. Basketball, they're gonna be the Sweet 16. No, the Elite, they'll be down to 32 teams after this week.
Yeah.
So you don't have enough time. You got 1 day play, off, 1 day play.
Yeah.
Best sporting event there is right now.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big basketball fan, but I love March Madness. I think it's a fun time. I love seeing, like Coach Bird hit on in the last episode. If you hadn't checked it out, you can go back and check out episode 17. But I love it when the small conferences who get their conference tournament champion in the tournament, I love when they get in there, even if they don't win, they push somebody to the limit, man. You know what I'm saying? Those are fun moments.
You got a UNC Wilmington's got a chance to be a Cinderella or an Ivy League. How many times the Ivy League's could make a run in football? With basketball, I'm real big on Yale. They're from the Ivy League and stuff. But how many other sporting events can you take like a Cinderella team and just march through it?
Yeah, and you talked about it too a while back. You know, we're not going to hit the portal a lot today, but you talked about how the portal has had such an impact on different programs and stuff. You know, and the other thing is, like, people graduating and whatnot. These guys, some of these programs you just mentioned who've had these runs in the past, they get a group of guys and they stay together and they stay together. If they can keep the bigger teams from poaching them away now with the NIL and the transfer portal, you know, they've been playing together for a long time. And a lot of these teams, like we talked about last week, it's a 1-year contract.
That's it.
It's a 1-year contract. So, you know, basketball is a game of chemistry, man, and I think it might be easier to keep your group together because just off of the fact that the game only requires, you know, 5 people on the court at a time.
And I ain't heard anybody opting out. I ain't heard any. There may be somebody, but ain't nobody opting out in this March Madness.
That's right.
Like in the bowls and football, so I ain't heard nobody opting out. So
well, there's a lot of storylines and different things, and we could spend a lot of time talking about that. But today, we want to pick the bracket. We want to pick the bracket, and we want to share our bracket with you guys. And if you want to enter it in, you can call it the unscripted bracket. I know a lot of people do a bunch of different ones. You name it different things. You got like your upset bracket, your top seed bracket. Well, hey, today we're going to give you your unscripted coaches bracket. And feel free to use it, man. Feel free to use it.
We're going to give you some upsets. There's going to be a few picks.
And my man Bird's on this stuff. He's been looking at it. So I'm going to kind of defer to you a lot today, Coach. But if you got one you ain't sure about, I'll throw a pick in there.
You as much as I know.
Hey, well, listen. Before we get started, though, I do want to talk about one story, okay? And I'm not hating on them. I am, in a way, but I'm not really. But tell me, Coach, UNC gets in, okay? I know they're in the play-in game, but they're in the tournament. They made it into the bracket. Okay, and there's 3 teams. UNC was 1-12 versus quad 1 opponents.
Yep.
One of 12. Indiana 4-13. West Virginia 6-10. That's 6-10. And then Ohio State was 6-11, all versus quad 1. So how did they make it in the tournament? And those 3 teams don't.
I don't know. I didn't think they should have been in the tournament, but you do know now on that committee. Was a former Carolina alumni? What's his name?
I think it's the
AD. I mean, he was on the committee, and I know he's been on ESPN talking about he wasn't in the room. He may have not been in the room, but he had to go back in that room when they made a decision. They had to look at that fella. But I don't know if he got in because of the name. I mean, and hey, it's got to be a plus. What did Hubert Davis got $100,000 bonus for making this thing?
You get in and you make it. So
I mean, I don't think. And I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're either going to lose tonight,
South Dakota State,
or they're going
San Diego State.
They're going to end up winning about 2 games. They're going to be either lose tonight, or you look up, they might be in the Sweet 16. But I don't know if the committee got that one right.
Yeah.
And I like Carolina, but I don't know if they deserve. They even had a quad 3 loss. I mean, even Boise State their resume was pretty good, but it's just hard to explain. I mean, you're going to hear a lot of people, but I know one thing: if they don't win tonight, There's going to be some more talking about it, why they got in.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. So, well, listen, we're going to start in the South bracket, and we're going to pick it. And stay tuned at the end. We'll post like a picture or whatever on the screen there for you to see see our entire bracket. We'll post it so you've got it. And if you, like I said, you want to enter it into a contest, call the Unscripted Coaches. Hey, if it pans out and does good for you, give us some shout outs.
And you think you got it, and we're going to narrow us down to the Final Four, the Elite Eight. If you think you can get more picks than us, throw your picks up there.
Yeah. We'll see.
I'll throw a shirt out there if you can beat me in the picks. I'll give you a shirt.
That's right. All right. Hey, we're going to start in the South, Coach. We got number 1 Auburn versus the 16 seed, whoever comes out of that.
I'm saying I'm going to go on the clip too. I don't think a number 1 seed will get beat in the first round. I don't think a number 2 seed will get. There ain't going to be no Cinderella 16 knocking 1 or 15 knocking 2. That ain't happening this year.
Well, first pick is Auburn, okay? Louisville versus Creighton.
I like Louisville. I don't remember the guy's name, the coach, but he's won 18 games more than they won last year.
Okay.
And I think kind of Louisville might have got slapped in the face a little bit being ranked, what, 8th?
They got an 8 seed.
I think they should have been a little higher than that.
Yep. All right, number 5, Michigan. Number 12, UC San Diego.
I know Michigan's coming off winning their conference tournament. They're the better team, but I'm going to take Michigan. I ain't taking Michigan going forward. I'm taking Michigan.
Take Michigan. All right, Texas A&M versus Yale.
I'm taking Yale.
I knew you
that. Probably, and I think Texas A&M is 8-point favorite. Yeah. But I'm taking Yale. That guy, I forgot his name right offhand, but he's the winningest coach that's been at Yale. And Yale, I think they upset somebody last year. Didn't they upset Auburn or somebody last year?
I think so.
I'm going with Yale.
All right. Ole Miss versus San Diego State or UNC.
I don't know. I don't know now. I'm gonna say Ole Miss, right, but like I just told you, Carolina may end up knocking both of them off. But I'm gonna go with Ole Miss.
I'm going Ole Miss too. All right, number 3, Iowa State, 14. How you say it? Lipscomb.
Lipscomb. Yeah, who'd you say?
Iowa State.
Iowa State. And Iowa State's best player is probably not playing in this tournament, but I'm gonna still go Iowa State.
Right, Iowa State. Number 7, Marquette. Number 10, New Mexico.
I'm a big Shaka Smart fan. I like what he does on defense. I say Marquette.
Okay. All right. Number 2, Michigan State. Number 15, Bryant.
Well,
you've already said Michigan State.
Tom Izzo. That is my favorite coach, Tom Izzo. And like you say, when he gets into the NCAA tournament,
he's different, man. I'm like I said, I don't really follow college basketball, but I know this. Every year you turn on March Madness, Tom Izzo's team, they peak during the tournament. And, his teams have done very well for me in brackets over the years, even when they're a lower seed. So I'm hoping that they live up to it this year.
I'm thinking they're going to go a long ways.
Well, we're going to stay in the South, Coach, and we're just going to pick out to the Final Four. Okay, so now you got Auburn versus Louisville.
I don't know, both teams. I mean, Auburn, I like Bruce Pearl and stuff, but Auburn has a tendency in the playoffs to kind of not stand up to where they should be, but I'm going with Auburn, though.
All right, I like Bruce Pearl. All right, Coach, here it is now. I think we might see it. Let's test you. Number 5, Michigan versus number 13, Yale.
I'm going with Yale.
Okay.
I'm going with Yale. What you think?
No, I'm with you.
I'm going with Yale. I think they just got so many shooters. I mean, you're gonna have to pick an underdog in the bracket anyway. So that's just what I'm saying in the top.
Well, we've talked about the SEC a lot lately in basketball. There's highly ranked. You got number 6, Ole Miss. Number 3, Iowa State. Number 6, Ole Miss. Number 3, Iowa State.
I know that they got 14 teams in.
Yeah.
But I'm still thinking some of the bottom tiers aren't as good as some. I like Iowa State.
Okay. Iowa State.
Who you like?
That's good. All right. Number 7, Marquette. Number 2, Michigan State. Michigan State.
And that's a tough one, but I'm going Michigan State.
All right. You've got a 13 seed, Coach. You got a 13 seed in the Sweet 16. Is there run up here? You got number 1 versus number 13, Yale. Is this where the run ends for Yale?
The run ends there.
The run ends for Yale. So Auburn over Yale.
More athlete, yeah.
In the Sweet 16. Okay. We've got number. What are they? Okay, I'll see it here. All right. Iowa State versus Michigan State. Iowa State versus Michigan State.
Michigan State. I told you I got them going deep.
All right. And for a trip to the Final Four, Coach, Auburn, number 1 seed, number 2 seed, Michigan State. You got 2 head coaches that I hear you constantly say you got a lot of appreciation for and a lot of respect for. Who do you think pulls it out, Coach?
Well, in one of my brackets, I've got Auburn, but on this one, I'm gonna stay. I got Michigan State going to the Final Four. I got Michigan State.
2 seed going to the Final Four. Michigan State out of the South. All right, so let's go up now. We're going to go up to the east, okay? We got number 1 Duke versus the winner of the 16 seed game.
The question is, how healthy is
That's Cooper Flagg.
Because like I told you,
that's a big question.
He's the best player in college basketball. And I've got Duke going pretty deep, maybe to Final Four. I don't got Duke winning it, playing for it, because I ain't not really. There's 3 freshmen ever played for a national championship, but they're capable. But I got Duke.
Okay. All right. Number 8 Mississippi State versus number 9 Baylor.
Baylor. I'm going with Baylor.
Number 5 Oregon versus number 12 Liberty.
Liberty, I don't know. They average about 74, 75 points a game. I mean, Oregon may have better athletes. What do you think? I'm gonna let you. What you think?
I'm gonna go with Oregon in the first round.
They better score some points. All I know, they better score some points.
All right, number 4 Arizona, number 13 Akron.
You know, if you watch a lot of ESPN, this is the big upset everybody's talking about. I mean, who's Arizona? He was at Carolina for 19 years. Kevin, but I think Arizona beats Akron. But I think it's.
You think that's one of them games that kind of pushed to the brink?
That's the one everybody's thinking. And if it's a lot of points, I guarantee you I would take Akron in the points.
Yeah. Well, you got BYU, number 6 seed versus 11 seed VCU.
I watched VCU play a little bit this week. I don't know.
I like VCU.
I like VCU. I like
VCU. All right, number 3 Wisconsin versus number 14 Montana.
I like Wisconsin.
All right. Montana. Okay.
You like Montana?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Number 3, Wisconsin. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. All right, hey, number 7, St. Mary's. That's like America's team in the tournament.
They can shoot it.
St. Mary's versus number 10, Vanderbilt. We're getting to them bottom SEC schools.
St. Mary's. Like I told you, I think some of them bottom SEC teams aren't. I mean, I don't know.
Number 2, Alabama. Number 15, Robert Morris. If there is a 2-seed upset,
you're calling that one?
I like Robert Morris, but I'm not saying to use it for the bracket. But if you're looking for a spicy little shake up in your bracket,
it depends on like what to put. Robert Morris, but Alabama has hit 90 points or better like 16 times this year. So if Robert Morris does it, they better score some points.
Score some points. All right, Alabama. Alabama. All right, back to the top of the bracket now. Round of 32. You got number 1 Duke, number 9 Baylor.
Duke.
Yeah. Number 5 Oregon, number 4 Arizona. Now we were kind of on the fringe on either of these even making it here.
I don't even know if either one of them will be there, but I would probably take Arizona because of their shooting ability a little bit.
Number 11 VCU versus number 3 Wisconsin.
I'm going Wisconsin because I like Wisconsin.
All right. St. Mary's versus Alabama.
Alabama.
All right. All right. Duke, Arizona.
Duke.
Yep.
And I don't even know if I've picked up a few there, but I don't know if
Wisconsin, or as T-Pain called them, Wisconsin, okay, versus Alabama.
I don't know if Wisconsin or Wisconsin can keep up with them up. I don't know if they score enough points.
Alabama.
I don't know if they score enough points.
All right, and out of the East, Coach, to the Final Four, we've got a 1-2 matchup, just like we had in the South. We've got number 1 Duke, number 2 Alabama.
I think they match up good. They actually match up good, but I'm going with Duke. Now it's a whole entire different story if Cooper Flagg ain't playing now.
Well, I think Flagg with or without Flagg, and what's the other kid?
Yeah, they got the other kid with the shoulder problem.
Murphy?
Yeah, shoulder problem.
I mean, even without them, I don't think they got a problem in the first round. I really don't think they're gonna have a problem in the second round. If they lose one of those games, they just had a terrible night. Okay, it ain't because they don't have one of those two cats. You get Arizona matchup, but right here, I'm with you, Coach. I think Duke to the Final Four, but if Flagg's not healthy, could be in trouble. All right, let's go to the West Division, Coach. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit. Number 1, Florida versus number 16, Norfolk State.
Florida's my pick through it all.
All right. UConn, Oklahoma.
Back-to-back champions, but I don't know if UConn's got it right now. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go with UConn. Okay. I think Hurley's been there. Some of his boys have been there. Let's go with UConn.
All right. And this is a big upset I've seen a lot of, Coach. Number 5, Memphis versus 12, Colorado State.
That's an upset. Memphis' best player's out. I don't know if he's playing. And Memphis is up and down.
Is he hurt or what?
Yeah, Memphis is up and down. Colorado State is a pretty good basketball
I've seen that's been a consistent pick I've seen on different shows and whatnot. Number 4, Maryland. Number 13, Grand Canyon.
I like Maryland. Maryland's scrappy.
All right, number 6, Missouri. Number 11, Drake.
Ooh, let's go with Missouri. I don't know a lot about Drake.
All right, number 3, Texas Tech, local team, UNC Wilmington.
I take the points. I think they're getting like 20 points, but I think Texas Tech's going to go out. But
yeah. All right, here's a good one for you. This is the SEC team that's getting a lot of good press right now. Kansas versus Arkansas.
Who's at Arkansas? Is that where Calipari went? Arkansas. Did he go to Arkansas? Where'd he go? He went to somewhere else, didn't he?
Yeah, he's at Arkansas.
I don't know. Kansas. I think I like Kansas. I like Kansas.
Kansas.
Because Arkansas, there at one time they were on a bubble getting in, but I like Kansas.
All right, I know who you're picking here. St. John's versus, as Peyton Manning said, Omaha.
Well, you know I like Patino. I like St. John's to make a deep run anyway.
All right, so St. John's. All right, so you got Florida versus UConn. We're going Florida. Okay, Colorado State, 12 seed versus the 4 seed in Maryland.
Colorado State.
Colorado State. Okay, gonna make Colorado State have a little run here. Number 6, Missouri. Number 3, Texas Tech.
Let's stick with Texas Tech. I don't know. I don't know. But I told you a lot of them SEC teams, they were going to face each other when you got 14 teams in there.
Yeah, he is at Arkansas. Number 7, Kansas versus number 2, St. John's. We're going with St. John's. I like it. Number 1, Florida versus number 12, Colorado State. This is where the run ends.
Doesn't matter. Florida's
going.
I think they're the best team in it right now. I think there's about 8 teams can win it, but I think Florida's a little bit.
All right. And you taking St. John's over Texas Tech?
Yep.
All right, Coach. From the West bracket here, you got the 1 seed Florida Gators versus the 2 seed St. John's, whatever they are.
Patino's run comes to an end.
Florida. All right, Coach. Let's finish up with the Midwest here. You got number 1 Houston versus whoever the 16 team is. I don't even know what that
It doesn't matter. Sampson, his team's probably the best defensive team in the bracket. I'm going with Houston.
Gonzaga versus Georgia.
I'm going with Gonzaga.
Clemson versus McNeese State.
I've seen Clemson play, and they play pretty good, but McNeese State, this could be an upset, but I'm going to go with Clemson, but I wouldn't be surprised if McNeese State didn't beat them.
All right, number 4, Purdue versus another local team from North Carolina, High Point.
I don't think Purdue's that good. That could be another upset. I'd be looking at the points if I was going to do anything, but let's just take Purdue because they've been there last year.
All right, Illinois versus the winner of, I think that's Texas and Xavier.
I'm going Illinois.
All right. Kentucky versus Troy.
Kentucky.
UCLA versus Utah State.
UCLA.
Tennessee versus Wofford.
I like Tennessee to make a deep run. I like Orange.
I think this is potential for a 1 seed to go out a little early, Coach. We've got 1-2s. I think we got a 1-2 trip to the Final Four in every bracket. But you got number 1 Houston versus Gonzaga.
You like Gonzaga, don't you?
Well, I do, Coach, but I see it going either way. I'm like you. Maybe if I want to take Houston deep on my bracket, I go with Houston. But I look at the points with Gonzaga. Yeah. If I'm betting the spread,
I look at Houston because defense. They're the best defensive team in the field, I think.
Okay. All right, we'll go Houston. Clemson versus Purdue.
2 bad ones. I'm going since the ACC. I'm gonna go with Clemson.
Illinois, Kentucky.
Illinois.
UCLA, Tennessee.
Bad as they want it to be.
Houston, Clemson.
Houston.
Illinois, Tennessee. All right, and we've got another 1-2 matchup. Winner goes to the Final Four, Coach. You taking Houston or Tennessee?
I'm gonna take Houston because I think this year you could have 4 number 1s in it. We don't have it picked that way.
Right.
You know that ain't never happened since 2000. It ain't happened one time in the history of this thing. All number 1 seeds made the Final Four. That was 2008. So I'm going with Houston to be in it.
All right. Well, let's go Final Four. Let's go Michigan State, Florida. I think you're going Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida. And then Duke or Houston. And for the purpose of this, Coach, let's just say Duke's healthy because we don't know. But let's just say Duke's healthy. Houston or Duke?
What you think? I'm going to let you pick.
I think Duke's going to the championship game, man. I think they're going to the championship game. If they don't stumble early, if they make it to the Final Four, I think they're going.
Very good.
All right. And then Florida versus Duke. You've been adamant, Coach. So I'm going to trust you.
I'm Florida.
Florida Gators.
But like I say, and I think I actually think all four number one seeds could be in the Final Four. I mean, I think at least 3 of them will be in there, but we didn't pick that because you got to pick some things and stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know why, Coach, but you know, on ESPN, you got this tiebreaker deal where you put the total points in there. I don't even know who's going to be in it, but I've used the same number every time, 157. It's going to be 84, 73.
It's going to be in the 150s.
I'm going to say 157 every time.
If Duke and Florida get a national championship, take the over. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right, take the over. Like I said, we picked some upsets and things here, and it could be, but I just think the number 1 and 2 seeds are going to go pretty deep. I don't think there's going to be nobody upset. I'd like to see Yale. We got them in Colorado State. And I got a couple brackets. I got Alabama in one of the Final Fours. I got Tennessee in one of the Final Fours.
Well, I think that's what you got to do if you want to spread it out. I mean, you talked about it. Nobody's ever had a perfect bracket.
Nope.
And, you know, it's one of them deals where if somebody ever does pick a perfect bracket, it's going to be a miracle. I'm just saying. I mean, there's too many combinations of different ways it can shake out. And, you know, mix your brackets up, man. Get you in a league where you can get some points per round or however you and your buddies want to do it. But, hey, if you want to use ours, man, do us a favor, call it the Unscripted Coaches Bracket. And if they ask you why you call it the Unscripted Coaches Bracket and they've not heard of us, tell them about us.
Check us out. I think we got the best podcast, whatever. If it's not even considered a pod, whatever it's considered. Well, I mean, we do it. We talk about some good things and stuff.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like to talk about the football when it gets there because you got more things to talk about. But it's March Madness now. And if you think you can I tell you what, we might put another one out there in the next day or two. And if you think your bracket can beat our bracket, I'll throw a shirt against that. If you beat me or Coach, I'll throw a shirt. But you can't wait till the final thing. You got to have that thing picked by Thursday.
That's right.
And just send it. I mean, whatever. I don't think you can beat us, but whatever.
Well, hey, look, Unscripted Coaches, episode 18. Good luck in your bracket pool.
Maybe it makes some money. Hey,
enjoy your time, man.
And on them straight pick now, don't forget to look at the point spreads now. Like I said, I got Yale, but they're getting 9 points. Yeah. Yale and 9 points, guys.
Episode 18. Peace.